What's up everybody, it's beau-hindman back with another video on little big robots. This is my channel where I look at little versions of big robots, thus the name. And I wanted to show off another number 57, another armored puppet. Really cool. As you might know, this is one of the 12 lines that I collect right now, and I collect only 12 lines because I'm not a fool. If I collect more than 12 lines, not only would I be bankrupt, but I would be out of housing because my wife would kick me out. I have an office, basically. I have some videos on my channel if you want to check it out, but I have an office that has really just two large shelves and one small shelf in it, and I keep it that way because I don't want to just keep buying stuff and putting it in a box and buying it. So we're going to be looking at this guy today. This is the Shadow Wolf. If you're not familiar with the line, I'm sure you are if you're watching this right now, but number 57, the armored puppets are more like these kind of robot kind of suits, you know, of armor. And so when they put this one out, I wasn't really feeling it that much. I thought this is essentially a transformer. I mean, that's all it is. It's just a transforming bot. And I don't do Transformers. They seem like a lot of fun. There's, of course, a huge history to Transformers, but I'm not a Transformers guy. So I wasn't really eager about getting a Transformer. I wanted more robot goodness, you know, just like humanoid robots that are a bit more quote-unquote relaxed, what am I trying to say? Realistic. That's the transformation guide there. It's pretty simple. I'm going to see if I can transform it without having practiced it yet, and if not, I'm going to pause it and come back. And you get a lot of stuff as usual with number 57. The difference with this one here, because it's a little bit larger, you're getting a little more plastic. You're probably getting almost twice as much as you would get with a normal number 57 figure. So there's no stand in here, which is, you know, one of the main reasons, one of maybe three main reasons, you would buy a number 57. You just get these stands, and the stands are fantastic. I've showed those in the videos before. And they're just really, it's a great stand system, but you still get a lot of neat little parts, leftover parts that you can use with the other number 57 kits and figures. In fact, let me grab one because I want you to see roughly the size. So this is, I'm sure you know this, that's a normal number 57 bot. That's what really got me into this line. And you can see the size there. So it's actually I mean, of course it fits the scale, it's the same company, but it's just a really nice size. This size of figure just doesn't take up so much room, you know. But you get these cool weapons and stuff. I'm not really gonna mess with those much. Honestly, I just sent off a bunch of weapons to a viewer, and he said he got those finally for him and his son, so maybe I'll send these to him as well. I don't know. I don't really use the weapons a lot. I kind of like industrial looking stuff, not necessarily like fighting stuff. And like I said, I didn't want number 57s to become like Transformers and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show the wolf stuff first, and then we'll see if we can transform it into the motorcycle. And as I built this, I was like, I'm not feeling, you know, a motorcycle. I think it's a little bit goofy or whatever. But then as I built it, I was like, hey, you know, this is actually pretty darn cool. And there's some real clever design of how it fits together. It's not like mind-blowing, but it's kind of nice in its simpleness, you know. Whenever you transform it from the motorcycle to the wolf and back, you're like, hey, that's actually pretty neat. I mean, just looking at the wolf now, you can see the motorcycle bits there at the wheels, but it doesn't feel like they didn't just force it in there. It really kind of works. It's balanced. The tail is part of the fender on the back, and I'll show you in a little bit. And when you're done, it kind of looks like a touring motorcycle, you know, like a motorcycle with the packs on the back and all that. Where is that picture of it? So it has that kind of nice, but the motorcycle I'm kind of more impressed with than the wolf, because the wolf part is, you know, it's a space dog, but it's still a cool looking figure, don't get me wrong, especially with some paint, it'll be incredible. But the motorcycle, I was kind of impressed in how it really felt like a motorcycle. A lot of times you get a transformable thing, and what happens is it kind of, you can see the thing it's going to transform into so obviously in this shape. It's not really that cool. Like this one, you can see the wheels, but it perfectly mimics kind of the profile of a wolf, anyway, with the big chest, and it goes out kind of thin here, and the legs kind of hide the back one. So I'm just not really sure why you'd want a wolf that transforms into a motorcycle, other than it's just cool. So maybe they just needed a cool figure. But each little leg bit, all these little parts have really, as usual with number 57, this might be a step above, though. They have really nice little gimmicks and details in them and design. And you definitely go to start to appreciate it whenever you're transforming it or not. But the paws are this kind of see-through color, which I'd rather have them be like a normal. I don't think they give any. I'd rather them have a normal gray color to them. Not this clear stuff. I'm not a fan of the clear, but it's still cool. The mouth opens and closes. You can see here how the neck. You can kind of see underneath there if I can get a shot of it. There's the handles for the motorcycle. So this part comes up and kind of hides it. So really, the silhouette is just perfect for like a wolf or whatever. It reminds me of the tapes, the pamphlet that came with the boombox one. I can't remember the Transformer back in the day. It kind of reminds me of that. It has that really, it works. The silhouette works so well that even though the transformation was a bit goofy, it really ended up working nice. And I guess he could ride it around as a wolf as well. I just noticed that there's no handles out, but you could probably leave the handles out and you can lean forward. But so really cool. I'm going to go over some of the, oops, that happens easily. I'm going to go over some of the wolf stuff, and then we're going to transform it and see what we can do. The legs, as you can see, connect to these parts, and these parts fold under here. So they're naturally in a place where they would be. Like I said, the tail here is part of like the fender when this wheel comes down. But it's not super duper posable as far as, because it's a wolf, there's no give in the waist here. You see that? There's no like bend. So a wolf wouldn't typically really bend that much anyway. But with the legs being so posable, you're gonna definitely have some fun putting them in some cool dynamic poses, chasing something down or whatever. You can point the paws just a bit down, like that kind of thing. You could probably put him on a stand like he's jumping, and it really works. I love the legs to death. These the upper part of the leg, muscular and stuff. So it has that really cool look to it. My problem is, again, this doesn't really, to me, fit the line of number 57, which is, to me, my favorite part of it is this industrial kind of look. Like it's a bot that they built for use, not just because it's kind of cool looking, but still, this is really cool. Being that it's just on, rotating, you can put them anywhere you want. So you could probably do some crazy poses. I just wish that in the center here, maybe there's something I'm missing. It has a bit of, I wish it just had a little bit of a give or a flex or something where you could do some more. There, the neck is stuck in that position a bit. You really can't do much because you're hiding the handlebars there, and so you can't really move that around. But you get some cool looks to it. So that's just a little bit about the wolf. I'm gonna actually pause because this might take a minute, and I'm gonna transform it into the motorcycle and show you the motorcycle because I'm really impressed with that part. Okay, so I've transformed it into the motorcycle here. As I was describing earlier, it is a little obvious in its transformation. You can see how the legs kind of pull up and just fold up and whatever. But with this kind of black finish on all the parts, it kind of hides the obvious bits. You know what I mean? It kind of blends in a little bit. The head is probably the most obvious thing. You can adjust this down a little bit. You can kind of tweak that a little bit, so you actually can bring this part down. It's just a little bit difficult to do without popping it off, so I'm going to be a little careful. The transformation doesn't involve too many parts that you've got to take off, but what I found is that for the legs and the back, it was easier to pop these off of the little bit here. I'll show you, because this little part here rotates down and plugs into the wheel when the wheel comes up. The tail folds in as part of the fender, so that might be easier for you to do if you're having an issue with it. Just pop the leg off, turn it up. As you turn it, you've got to kind of watch these pegs. You don't want it to, it's not going to break them necessarily, but it's just connected by that little piece there, so you might want to be careful about that. But if you can see what I mean by the silhouette of it, it really does. I wasn't expecting it to kind of look like a touring bike, like a bike with, what do you bikers out there know what I'm talking about here. How does this go again? I can't remember. It looks a bit like, it has luggage on the back or whatever. It has a little bit more, traveling ability because it has these, extended gas tanks. Well, I don't know what this is, but anyway, you can see what I mean here. Even these little parts in the back kind of look like cool exhaust. These are supposed to be like exhaust that kind of point upwards. I personally like them to point more low. I would like to probably hide this paw a little bit better. You can do like that. There you go. Maybe that's what you're supposed to do. I would like it to be a little less obvious. The head is the worst part. But even with that, it really has, like I said, a really cool silhouette for a motorcycle. You know, at minimum, you're going to have a cool piece to put with the other 124 or whatever scale these guys are. I always forget. What do I always forget? Where's it at? 124. So your hexagears and stuff like that could go on this. But, you know, you give a little dry brush on this and you bring out some of the details. It's going to look really, really cool. They give you this neat little stand that just basically pops on here. It's on the back wheel. Let me see if I can do that without making it super blurry. So you get this little stand, and then you can kind of literally, oops, I did it the reverse way. But anyway, you just stand it up like that. If you want to pop that on there, I think you might be able to, no, you can't leave it on there once you transform. So you might want to keep that in mind. I think you have to take it off. Oh, why is it not working? Anyway, so you get a little stand to help you stand it up on the shelf. I'll probably leave it in the motorcycle form, honestly, but then again, I don't know, that wolf form is really cool. My only quibbles, I guess, would be the clear pieces. I'd rather not have clear pieces. I'm not a big fan of clear stuff, except for some of the armor on the 57s, because the clear stuff is kind of interesting, but pretty cool. The head, I wish was a little more, a little less obvious, but, you know, it's kind of like the bike's personality is the wolf or whatever, or the wolf is always there, and so I kind of enjoy that you could be riding along and that's the horn, I guess. He just starts screaming really loud, I don't know, but not a bad little kit. Again, anything from number 57, from, oh, I forgot the manufacturers. There's like 3 companies involved, and a person in my comments gave me the details, but again, the same people who do this and do the number 57s, all the puppets, I just love everything they do. I'm not nearly as much of a fan of the more fantastical pieces like Motorcycle Wolf or Ninja Bot, you know, that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm really into. I'm into more for the normal stuff, but even with that, when I first put this together, and I was like, hey, you know, that is really, really, something about it is really clever and really cool looking. It's obviously a wolf or an animal or whatever, but you'd expect arms to come down here. No, they fold out from the engine casing or whatever. They are the engine. So not bad at all. Enjoy, go buy one. I get mine from, actually I'm getting mine from Shouzi's store, which is a Chinese-based site, because everything over here is so freaking delayed. I ordered one item, and 6 months later I still hadn't received it. So I canceled my pre-order, ordered it from a Chinese direct site, and I got it in 30 days. So, but anyway, enjoy.